Hey, what's going on everyone? Six Pass Dunga coming to you again with another one of my more crazier theory videos. Well, not necessarily. I heard this idea a little while ago, but now after reading chapter 22, I've been thinking about it again. It's honestly been making a lot of sense lately, so I thought about making a whole video on it to really help my case. So at the end, I would really appreciate it if you leave your feedback. I want to know what everyone thinks about this. So before I head off into the video, I was hoping you leave a like. You know, that's how we get our videos out there for more Boruto fans to see and check out. It would mean a lot, and it'll help us reach our goal of 20k subscribers that much faster. But now then, on to the video. Let's go. So the narrative for chapter 22 is that Boruto was supposed to lose to Jura and eventually be killed. That's what Kashin Koji been telling us ever since the Tsunagakure mission started. Every time Boruto even seemed like he wanted to go help, Koji would not fail to inform him of what would happen if he did go. And pretty much for the most part, he listened to him. That is until Konohamaru's life was at stake. To save him, he rushed to the battlefield and destroyed whatever was left of Matsuri. And in doing this, he allowed Jura to see where he was. The Shinju all have linked vision and perception. They work like the paths of pain. So by Matsuri seeing Boruto, Jura also seen where he was at. So going into the next chapter, everyone expected Jura to pull up and fight Boruto without haste. And that's exactly what he did. Immediately, he came to Tsunagakure to erase Boruto. As the biggest threat to the Shinju's existence at the moment, Jura felt like Boruto's death is necessary. And to be fair, he does have a point. So far, Boruto has killed 2 Shinju. I mean, Hidari is back alive, so I don't know if you really want to count him. Well, I suppose he still technically killed him once, so I guess I'd still count that. He even looked at Sarada for a brief second before he left to go find Boruto. Maybe he would have went after Sarada because of the potential she had after reawakening her MS. Who knows? But as of right now, his only focus is Boruto. He probably feels like he can kill someone like Sarada whenever he feels up to it. So he went after Boruto like we all anticipated. They fought, and as they were fighting, there wasn't a single moment where I thought that Boruto had a real chance to win this fight. The only chance he had to win, in my opinion, was the Uzuhiko. But even going into this fight, I didn't even think that would be a real factor. I didn't even believe he would bother using Uzuhiko. And I believed even less that he would be able to hit him. And that's because for it to even work, you have to stay grounded. That's an established rule for using that technique. It would be bad to use it in this situation because it needs time to charge up. And Jura is already stronger than you. It's going to be twice as hard to find an opening to be able to charge it up to the point where it would yield the same results as it did against Hidari. In that fight, he had Sarada and Konohamaru to cover for him while he charged it up. So without that, there's no way I believed he would be able to charge it up enough to where it would shred Jura apart. And the other reason is because Jura can fly. And I repeat, you have to stay grounded for the most part if you expect this technique to work. So it wouldn't be the best idea to use it against flying opponents like Jura or maybe even Kawaki. I feel Boruto got a little lucky because he was able to have enough time to charge the Rasengan because of him being trapped in Jura's wood style. Plus, catching him off guard with the flying Raijin helped too. Any other scenario and Boruto probably has way more trouble getting that attack off. Well, now thinking about it, Jura likes to be hit. Most of the time he just stands there and lets you hit him. He be playing mind games. He allows you to think you're doing damage when in reality, you probably didn't even leave a scratch. But anyway, now that Jura was able to nullify the Uzuhiko, I don't believe Boruto really has another win condition. So now seeing that firsthand, it could be very possible that Boruto actually does die in this fight. Even Koji told Ada that basically Boruto has no way out of this fight. He can't use FTG to teleport back because to travel long distances, that requires way more concentration. And for Boruto to properly focus, he would need time. Time he doesn't have fighting someone like Jura. Jura now knows what the flying Raijin is. He's seen Boruto use it a number of times now, especially when he used it to escape their first encounter. As someone who's out to kill Boruto, he wouldn't allow him enough time for him to escape. It's literally impossible. But let's say some way, somehow he actually does find a way to get out of there. He still has to consider his comrades. It's way too dangerous to leave them alone because they have the thorn souls of Matsuri and Ryu. It's nothing for Jura to just kill them and take them back. which would create a worse scenario than the one we started from. So at that point, he should have just let Konohamaru die. Now everyone is dead. Konoha's battle strength massively decreases, and none of the Shinju have been defeated. I'm pretty sure even Konohamaru himself would rather give up his life than for that outcome to play out. So the only option Boruto really has is to stay and fight until he finds a way to win, or a miracle takes place and possibly someone steps in to save him. That's the reality of the situation. And like I said before, Boruto really doesn't have a path to a W here. So what's next? I hear a lot of commotion around the community surrounding Kawaki and about him possibly coming to aid Boruto in this fight. We haven't seen him in such a long time, and he more or less just got his limiters removed. So right now he should be several times stronger than what he was before. But there's really one problem with that. Koji should just know that Kawaki is coming to save Boruto, shouldn't he? Looking back a few chapters, the one who probably told Boruto to inform Kawaki on Amato placing limiters on him was Koji. He wanted Kawaki to approach Amato and press him about his limiters, and he did just that. That happened before Konohamaru and the others went to Sunagakure. So what I'm basically saying is that if Koji is able to see all possible futures, then he should definitely know if Kawaki's coming to save Boruto or not. And like he said, the future isn't simply one straight path. Many narratives get snuffed out based on which branch of each multi-forked crossroad is taken. Meaning every action, anything from a huge action to a very minute one, can change the course of the future. And based on those actions, new futures can be born. Now, don't get me wrong, Koji did say it was not an absolute thing, but many futures show it happening. But immediately after saying this, he follows up and says that through you learning about this now, the future has already started to change one tick at a time. So we know now that Boruto knows there's an extremely high chance that he will die by Jura, and him being aware of this fact changes the future somehow. That's just to show you how fragile time works. Anything can shift the course of fate no matter how insignificant it may seem. One thing that seems really weird about this entire situation is the fact that despite Koji knowing Kawaki is about to get his limiters removed, he still seemed to be terrified of the fact that Boruto went to Sunagakure. And to make matters worse, the odds that Boruto was killed off by Jura seem to stay the same. In fact, he doubled down on it. There wasn't a single moment where Koji said something that made me any more confident that Boruto can get out of this fight alive. The only thing that's making me believe he'll live is the mere fact that he's the main character. Of course he's not gonna die, but what if we're wrong? What if Koji is right again? He was pretty accurate about the entire mission so far. Initially what was supposed to happen was Sarada and the others take down Ryu. That already happened, and you know it was accurate because he mentioned Sarada first. Sarada and the others take down Ryu. And then after that, they rendezvous with Konohamaru and defeat Matsuri together. That was probably going to happen if Boruto didn't intervene. Matsuri was already on the brink of death. Boruto even stated that because of her weakened state, it made killing her easy. Someone like Mitsuki could have easily finished her off in the state she was in. The only thing is that Konohamaru might not have survived until the help arrived, which is weird because he said they rendezvous with Konohamaru. But when Boruto asked if Konohamaru would be able to take Matsuri down, he didn't say anything back. Him actually not saying anything and brushing the question off kinda insinuated that Konohamaru wouldn't survive. I mean, if he was still gonna live, the least he could have did was tell Boruto that. But I digress. Maybe saying they're gonna rendezvous with Konohamaru doesn't mean he'll be alive when they get there. It could simply mean they're just gonna go where they think he is, and then kill Matsuri. But either way, he was pretty spot on with his foresight so far. Until, like I said, Boruto got involved. So technically, it would be wrong for us to just assume Koji would be wrong now, just because it would be beneficial to us. He even said Boruto's done for, without doubt. And so far, he's been right for most of the things he said thus far. In this current sequence of events, there is no way he can win. That's exactly what Koji said. Therefore, his chances actually gotten worse than what they were before. He went from it not being an absolute thing to having no chance at all. So now I'm really thinking, now Kawaki's definitely not coming, and even if he does come, Koji still thinks Boruto is dead. but I'ma bet my house and say Kawaki doesn't magically show up. And besides Momoshiki emerging and bailing Boruto out like everyone also thinks could happen, what is something that could realistically happen that'll result in Boruto surviving this encounter? That's where this crazy theory comes into play. In chapter 56, right after Naruto and the others defeat Ishiki and get sent back home, Kawaki talks to Boruto on top of the Hokage monument about the karma. At the point in the story, both of their bodies are about 80% Otsutsuki, and since Boruto's karma was still extracting Otsutsuki DNA right into his body, soon Boruto would disappear somewhere and Momoshiki would resurrect in his body. So Kawaki suggests that Boruto prepare his own vessel, and because he had his own vessel somewhere, he could also reincarnate. But because it would sacrifice someone most likely innocent, Boruto was against it. Not until Kawaki suggested using Code as a vessel, the only other guy besides Kawaki to have survived Jigen's experiments. And thinking about it now, he may have a point. If Boruto is really killed by Jura, he would be able to come back to life due to the karma. Like I said before, going into this fight, Boruto already knew the odds of him dying versus living. It wouldn't surprise me if he took evasive action and prepared something beforehand for this exact moment. Code has inherited the white karma from Ishiki, but it can't do anything that a normal karma can do, like absorb chakra. He's not even a vessel of anyone. We don't know too much about the white karma besides that, and that it's of Otsutsuki essence, which means he's able to inherit the karma and his body can handle it. The white karma is proof that his body won't break down if a karma is implanted onto him. Because remember, not everyone is compatible with the karma. It's actually quite rare to find someone whose body is. Jigen experimented on a lot of kids, and the only two who survived was Code and Kawaki. So thinking about it, Code might be the only one who can handle becoming a vessel. And since his white karma doesn't have any other Otsutsuki's DNA on it, it might be perfect for Boruto to imprint his own, not gonna lie. Now the only question is, how could Boruto even do this? When could he have implanted his DNA into Code's white karma? It could have happened during their fight in Konoha. We don't know the exact conditions that need to be met in order for someone to imprint a karma onto a vessel. It could be something extra that needs to be done, but going off of what's consistent is probably contact. Contact of any sort really. Jigen placed the karma onto Kawaki and the rest of the children through some type of scientific process. So there's probably more ways to do it that haven't been talked about yet. But yeah, like I said, the most consistent way is through contact. They made contact a bunch of times in this fight. Even the next chapter when he rescinded the Uzuhiko. There's been a lot of times he could have quote unquote killed Code, but he didn't because he needed Code to lead him to the Ten Tails, and he probably knew Code could possibly come in handy later on if push comes to shove. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Thinking about Momoshiki's fate, I do believe since his vessel was killed off, his soul may extinguish, but I could be wrong. Since their souls are intertwined with each other, they could literally be counted as one person now. Literally. Then you still have the problem with Momoshiki, but Boruto stays alive. I mean, since Boruto is 100% Otsutsuki, you might as well have him make full use of it. You know what I mean? As soon as Boruto dies, you can have the resurrection process start within Code. It's really one of the most unexpected yet clever ideas Ikimoto could have if properly executed. So is this a possibility worth looking into or not? I want to know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If Boruto was to really die during this encounter, could Code be an ideal vessel for Boruto? I mean, it would kind of be weird if Kawaki just said this and Ikimoto didn't do anything with it, right? So maybe that's an idea that could resurface now that Boruto is literally facing death itself. I'm interested in everyone's opinion, so make sure you guys don't hold back. And as always, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it in the future, please go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you get notified whenever I upload or go live for chapter spoilers. And until my next one, I'll see you boys and girls later. And I'm out. Peace.